Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. We're going to dive right into the Cowboys rumors, and we're going to begin with this one. Trade Dak Prescott and sign Tom Brady? No. Fake news on this one for a couple different reasons. The first easy one, horrible idea, which we'll dive into in just a second. This comes from Michael Irvin, but this has kind of been, I think, twisted and contorted into not what he meant. So Michael Irvin said on Boston Sports Radio, significant people have discussed this. Now, he didn't mention who those significant people were, but he has since clarified they do not work for the Dallas Cowboys, and this part has been left out by everybody talking about it. Michael doesn't think that it happens. So we're presenting this as like, well, Michael Irvin said big-name people told it. First off, significant people could be other players, could be other media members. Like, I don't think, and he didn't say it was for the Cowboys, so why would I put stock in it? Michael had the conversation, sure, over drinks. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. He thinks it does not happen. How are we glancing over that? That doesn't make any sense to me. There are also some big, sensible issues with it. Number one, in order to trade Dak Prescott, he must sign the franchise tag first, just to clarify that one. Going from Dak Prescott to Tom Brady in the year 2020 of our Lord is a downgrade. Why would you want to get worse and older at quarterback? And perhaps it is just Stephen Jones mouthing platitudes towards his current quarterback. He said that he doesn't want to go with Brady. We'll get to that quote here in just a second. But it's 2020, guys. Doesn't make sense. Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Tom Brady. I don't care if I'm paying Dak $37. I'm going to pay Dak $37 before I pay Tom Brady $30. Brady's offense was not great, but he did not play well this year. There's no way around it. This comes, by the way, with Tom Brady having the best defense and special teams in the NFL. They couldn't win. And the offense was the reason they couldn't win. The Cowboys' offense was good with Dak Prescott. Why break up a good thing? Here's what Stephen Jones had to say several weeks ago, by the way, when he was asked about signing Tom Brady. Not even a thought. We're so all in on Dak. Mike McCarthy is so all in on Dak. He's so convinced that Dak's the guy that can help us win championships. I tend to agree with Stephen Jones in this case. So I know the rumors are out there around Tom Brady. I felt the need to discuss them, but if you follow me on Twitter, you know it's a bad idea. I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it happens. So everyone go type P in the comment section, because it's not 2015 anymore. It's not 2013 anymore. Right now, Dak Prescott's the better quarterback than Tom Brady. That may sound weird. Brady's not the same guy. I will make this the pinned comment so you guys can go cast your votes, but it's pretty clearly P for me. Now, on the flip side of Dak Prescott, is the deal going to get done? The extension. 3 stars on this one, and it makes a whole lot more sense than the trade Dak and sign Tom Brady idea. And it comes to us from Jay Glazer, who I remind everybody broke the Mike McCarthy hiring news. Here's what Glazer said in one of his mailbags over the weekend. Dak will be the quarterback of the Cowboys. Period. End of story. He also goes on to say that Dak is not asking for $40 million, and he will not get it. I don't believe the two sides are at the, well, Dak wants $40 million issue. I don't think that's the crux of the delayed and dragged out process here. I think it's far more and has to do with the details. Perhaps the year is the issue. I think the $40 million leak came from the Dallas Cowboys, and it may have happened under this type of pretense. Well, geez, guys, if those are the guarantees you're giving us and you want a 10-year deal, it's got to be 40 per year. Dak's not going to get 40. He's going to get more than 33 or so. He's going to get more than Jared Goff. He's a better player than Jared Goff. This is the market, guys. I know it's an overpay. It is what it is. But you should pay Dak Prescott. The worst thing the Cowboys can do here is to continue to drag their feet. The Chiefs come in with a big-time deal for Mahomes. Then all of a sudden, the market is no longer, well, gee, we don't want to make Dak the highest-paid quarterback at 36. It's, well, shit. Now the market's $44 million or $42 is the highest-paid quarterback, and now we're going to sell for $38. The longer you wait, the more you pay. Get it done. Pay Dak Prescott right now. I've also got a deal for you guys. How about some Cowboys hoodies being on sale? Head over to chatsports.com/Cowboys hoodie. That is chatsports.com/Cowboys hoodie. All types of hoodies and sweatshirts are 25% off right now. All kinds of styles, all kinds of colors, all types of varieties on sale right now. So check the description. Check the comments as well. I've got that link in there for you guys to go click and shop. Oh, look, back to Dez, because I swear we're taking crazy pills sometimes with the same stories that get discussed. Although this one does have, I think, a pretty significant update. It's still just the 1 star. I don't want to give you guys false hope. I don't want to do that to you. I know many of you want Dez Bryant. I get it. I don't want to make you guys think it's going to happen when I don't think that it does, even if it is a possibility. But Dez did text Stephen Jones about a return. By the way, it is important that Dez texted Stephen Jones. As we've said before, Stephen's a little bit more in charge of areas these days. And Stephen was one who really wanted Dez Bryant gone, by the way. Now, Stephen left the door open, says, you don't rule anything out. But I think his quote is telling. And I think it's the correct quote. And frankly, it's something that I've said before on this show, just in different words, because I'm fluent in front office speak. A great receiver had a great career, he says about Dez. A great competitor, and certainly with respect for Dez, as we just kind of take it and see where we are, and this is the important part, and as we move forward and see where our needs are and who we sign, and then go from there. Meaning, doors open if certain things happen, which I think is the reality right now for Dez Bryant and for the Cowboys, and those certain things are what happens in the wide receiver room. As I've said before, finding the role for Dez Bryant is tricky. He doesn't replace Amari Cooper. Randall Cobb's better than him right now as well. So if you bring back Cobb, you bring back Cooper, Dez is at best your wide receiver 4. He's not going to be a special teams guy. Hasn't returned punts in forever, not going to at his age, is not a gunner. So then what does that role become? He's kind of a bigger red zone version of Devin Smith, but not the same speedster. Now, Dez wants to be a red zone guy, but to be quite honest, I think there are better spots for Dez Bryant to be that red zone guy and have a resurgence in the NFL. Dez, by the way, looks more in shape. He's cut about 10 pounds. He hasn't played in 2 years. So Dez deserves a shot somewhere. And again, I've got no issue with a 1-year non-guaranteed deal for Dez Bryant. See what that role, if you can find him one on the roster. But if it just wants to be the red zone guy, we've tried that with Dak. I might explore a different spot if I were Dez. Maybe the Ravens. The Saints, I still think, are the best fit for Dez Bryant, and Dez felt so too when he signed there back in 2018. Now let's say, hypothetically speaking, Dez Bryant signs with the Cowboys, and he makes the roster too, so I won't give you that outlet either. If he were to, how many touchdowns would he score? We always go way over on these, and I am so excited to see what these answers are because I think they're going to be a blast. Now, part of the reason that Dez had some issues in Dallas, he didn't like Sean Lee apparently. So what about a Sean Lee return? I'll give this one 2 stars. I hope it happens. Sean Lee wants it to happen. It's closer to 3, frankly, but I wonder how much the new coaching staff could impact things here. Now, Sean Lee told Mike Fisher he wants to keep playing. I like to hear that. Not going to go into coaching yet. And he wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's coming off his first healthy 16-game season in ever. And he previously said he'll make his decision by March. I want Sean Lee back on the Cowboys for depth. Jalen's a long-term piece. You already paid him like one. You're hoping Leighton Vander Esch is, but I want some added depth. And Sean Lee can do a little bit of everything for you in terms of those 3 linebacker archetypes. I don't think he's going to have 86 tackles again next year. I'm not going to pay him like that either. A 1-year deal, three for me, maybe $3 million, somewhere in that range. Maybe it's 2, whatever the exact number is, not too expensive. That's good veteran depth. I like that. But my question is this. If Sean Lee's back, what does that mean for Dez? Because Dez called him a snake. Sean didn't like that. Is there water under the bridge yet? I think that's something you have to consider because you can't be bringing in players who ain't going to get along with the locker room. Now, I don't think Dez was not a diva, despite what some tell you. That comment did not go over well. So if you can only pick one, who is it? Let me know in the comment section. For me, I'm picking Sean Lee every time at this stage in their NFL careers. All right, next up here is Tyrone Crawford going to get cut. If the question were, will Crawford be back at his current cap hit, the answer is no. But it is only 2 stars here because Crawford is one of the obvious cap cut candidates. He's also reportedly willing to take a pay cut. That's the difference right there. Tyrone Crawford cannot, should not, and I don't think will not be back at his $9.1 million cap hit next year. There's just no way. When the dead money's only 1.1, you got $8 million in savings here. But what about a pay cut? If Crawford is willing to take that $8 million base salary, cut that in half, have a cap hit of $5 million, well, I like that idea. I think that makes sense for both parties. Crawford still gets paid, gets to stick with the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe you try and get him a little bit less. You can say, hey, take that $8 million. We'll cut it down to 3 or so, and then add an extra $1 million in incentives. Just a potential option there for the Cowboys. But you can't give him an $8 million base salary. Not coming off of the injury, not for the role he plays. He's a good player. He does the dirty work really well for you. And I like him as a flex player for the Cowboys. That defensive end on rundowns and DT on passing downs. I think that role fits. I think that's a good role for Crawford. He's not going to be a 10-sack guy. But as a run stopper, it's still valuable. Yes, the NFL is a passing game, but that base defensive end, inside pass rusher, I think that's a valuable role for the Cowboys, just not $8 million worth of value. So who do you want the Cowboys to cut? Let me know in the comments section. Now, we've already gone over my cap cuts list before on the channel. There are plenty of options out there beyond just Tyrone Crawford. He certainly is one of the bigger ones. So let me know in the comments who you want to cut. And if you haven't already watched that video, I will link it in the comments or in the description for you guys. And, go check out the channel as well. Next up here, how about $10 million for Anthony Brown? Wait, what? This one's kind of confusing to me. I'll give it 2 stars because there's some pretty critical context missing here from the Dallas Morning News. The report was that Brown's reps believe his market is $10 million in total compensation, which is too high. But you left out half of the story here, guys. Over how many years? If this is a 1-year deal for $10 million, bullshit, no way. There's no way Anthony Brown gets 1 year $10 million, or 2 years $20, or 3 years $30. There's no way. And if he does, awesome. Congrats, Anthony Brown. You take that bag and you enjoy it. Now, if this is 2 or 3 years, okay, now we're talking a little bit more. And if it's 3 years, I'd actually probably do a 3-year, $10 million deal for Anthony Brown. I'm intrigued by that because that's cheap depth. And I need bodies at corner that I know can play. Is Anthony Brown a great corner? No, of course he's not. He's not a $10 million a year corner. Come on, guys. But as a number 3 or a number 4, there's value there. And with Byron Jones being a free agent, I can't go into the draft with only Awuzie and Jordan Lewis on my roster. I will pay Anthony Brown for that, but not at $10 million per year. If he gets that, I will be absolutely stunned, and I will thank the team that did that and appreciate my comp pick coming in next year's draft pick. Hey, Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.